In this episode of Building RYLOTH, we'll be finishing off the parts of the tower that we started in the previous episode. Then we'll be shifting our focus to adding new figures that will be in the final version of this build, as well as working on some just various aspects of the overall MOC. So let's get into this episode of Building RYLOTH. So I wanted to start off this update by finishing the interior of the entranceway leading into the capital. I already explained how I'm designing this in the previous episode, but now you can see exactly how I'm putting it all together through this time lapse. I'm starting off by building these doorways on either side. Now you do see these in the episode, although you only see one side of it, but I thought it probably makes sense for there to be one on the other side as well. You see the clone troopers Razor and Stat go there to turn on the bridge in the main control room. This was the first time I actually realized that those two ARF troopers actually even had names. But I continue using that curve technique to finish off the roof, adding plenty of texturing. In between episodes, I did receive parts, so I'm able to build out 4 of the pillar designs that I created in the previous episode, again using that Indiana Jones whip piece to add some more wiring detail. I go ahead and attach all the pillars to the wall that we built earlier, and I'm going ahead and building up this weird support structure that I talked about again in the previous episode. I did run out of 2x2 inverted tiles in light bluish gray, so that's something I'll have to go ahead and order before the next episode. Now that I finished that, I continue to go ahead and build up the dark tan walls, again making sure to add plenty of texturing and a transition between the dark tan and the dark gray. I'm going ahead and building up another one of the Technic structures to make sure that the tower doesn't tip backwards. But I can attach it again using those modified bricks, and the tower is just able to sit on once again. Now, I wanted to add lights into the interior, and from what I can tell, there are lights coming out of the doorways, but I couldn't tell if there's a light in the main tunnel itself, so I went ahead and just added one at the very top anyway. I once again went for the yellow look, and this is what they look like all turned on. I want to shift my focus back to the main tower and start building up some more of the panels. So what I wanted to start working on was replicating 3 of the main panels that we had already built, just mirroring them and modifying them slightly. Building them is pretty straightforward. It's just a mirror of what I already have done. It will just eventually get tedious over time once I continue to build up so many panels. But now it's time to attach all 3 panels and see how they look. And now with these 3 panels attached, I think the tower is really coming together. So I realized I actually built this panel wrong. It's supposed to have 3 lights like this one over here, and then this one's supposed to have 2, right? It's supposed to be kind of the inverse of each other. So that's something I'll probably go fix in the next update. Now I think I might need to buff up the minifigure collection for this MOC. So I purchased this custom Cham Syndulla figure from Engineero Customs. So Cham Syndulla was the leader of the Freedom Fighters. This was my first time purchasing from Engineero Customs. I hadn't really heard of them, but it was the only place I could really find somebody selling a Cham Syndulla custom figure. So it will be good to have them in the final version of the MOC leading the Freedom Fighters. But I also purchased a variety of different Twilight heads from him, and just the biggest reason behind that is just that the official ones just come in a lot less colors and they're more expensive, so it's just much more worth it to buy custom ones. So I want to go ahead and design some of the different variations of the Freedom Fighters. I purchased 6 of the Twilight heads, so that'll give me plenty of options for different figures. I really wanted each of the freedom fighters kind of have their own personality with their own kind of accessories and weapons. I'm particularly a really big fan of this guy who has like beefy kind of shoulder armor. I used the bottom jaw of like a resistance trooper helmet and just used a rubber band to keep it attached. I think it works really well to kind of capture the vibe of a heavy trooper. Also really like this one who's decked out in like all black with some nice cloth pieces to add some detail and dual wielding some blasters. So to stay on the theme of custom figures, I've been slowly building up this custom Purist Watt Tambor minifigure. So of course by Purist I mean I use all official Lego parts. Some noteworthy parts I use like Thanos' torso, one of the princess dress pieces, this cloth piece from a Harry Potter figure. What's definitely my favorite part usage is the bottom portion of a Ninjago mask that's just flipped upside down. I think it melds well with the rest of the armor piece. I think it really gives kind of an accurate look to it. I definitely took a lot of inspiration from other Watt Tambor customs that I've seen. I definitely tried to improve on areas that I thought could be improved. But overall, really happy with how he turned out. I'll definitely be including him somewhere in the mock. Now I mentioned in a previous episode that I wanted to have some sort of sloping effects on the black border. I think I figured out exactly what I want to do. So I am going to make use of some curved slopes, but I'm going to be making use of a half plate offset so that the curved slopes line up a bit better with the rest of the border. Curved slopes have like a groove that's like half a plate thick. So when I offset it by half a plate, I think it lines up a bit better with the rest of the border. Now I've also got a ton of 2x4 black brick on the picket brick wall, so I now have plenty to finish up the rest of the border. Now on this side, however, I ran into a lot of issues working on this one section. I don't know if it was just late and I was tired, but like I just ended up having to take it apart, rebuild it, take it apart, rebuild it. So that's the black border pretty much done. I did want to talk about what's going on over here. So this middle base plate, I was going to have just another base plate just elevated up to attach the main tower to. Base plate is a half a plate thick, unlike just a normal plate, but these studs are also half a plate thick. So then it just equals out to just a full plate in height, and it doesn't have any weird difference with the rest of the base plates. Let me know what you think about all the custom figures that I made during this episode. I'm pretty happy with how they turned out. The custom heads were the first time I purchased something from Engineer Customs. They're pretty good quality prints. They also have a Commander Pons that I do want to get for this mock. He's currently out of stock. It kind of blends in well with the new Clone Trooper aesthetic that Lego is going for, so I'll try to pick that up once it comes into stock. So thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to watch this video. Hey, why not subscribe to the channel? I don't usually ask for it, so you know, why not? Goodbye.